Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So I just finished all International Women's Day objectives. It took me about 2 hours in total and I think 2 revives, maybe 3, but you definitely do not need to use any at all. I just got done in by parry for most part in the 5-4-6-1 on the boss fight, which really annoyed me to be honest, but you can definitely do it itemless as well. However, it was quite evident that, quite a few people have some questions in regard to these challenges. And I'm going to try and make a quick and straight to the point guide without stretching it out. So if you do want to find duels for the specific champions, because finding Spider-Man is super easy. I don't even know the Spider-Man duel. I just used Road to the Labyrinth 1.3 in order to find Spidey. And then I used my 2-star Black Cat with a synergy team that increased her crit chance and let her start with a combo of 40 in order to make sure that you do get as many bleeds as possible. It was still very tedious, very annoying. You need to make sure that you do not hit them whilst they are about to die. So it takes a bit of practice. It can be annoying. It probably took me like 25 tries, 30 tries to get in those 10 kills. Luckily, it's very fast and energy cost efficient, but definitely do not forget to synergize up your Black Cat for that Spidey objective. Otherwise, it's just going to be very, very annoying. As far as dual targets for Mangog, Dan B1 is what I used for 5 Mangog duels. And then, because I didn't want to pay units for any more duels, I found a Mangog in 7.33. And I basically used White Tiger to get to him. It was a second fight. It's relatively doable fight. It's quite straightforward. There's nothing crazy. It's spite, but you do have given power control abilities. You can do these fights with, the hashtag female god champions here as well. It is easier and faster just to wait until your duels refresh. So if you do want to get it easier, do not try to rush through it. If you do want to rush through it immediately, then 7.33 is where I did get additional 5 wins against Mangog. And for Moleman, we have 2 dual targets, Moleman Master or Tupera X. But also, where you can find Moleman is somewhere in your daily quests. That is exactly where I found him, by the way. There is a chance you'll see him in Apothecary as well, but I found him in one of these daily quests. It is not a guarantee. These daily quests reset, obviously, and change up the champions whenever you clear the map. But just take a look whether you can actually find him somewhere there. For me, he was like a second champion, and after Luke Cage. And this is where I found my Mole Man quite quickly and quite easily. Again, it is faster to do the duels, but if you do want to rush through it, this is where I went. It might be that this daily quest doesn't have Mole Man for you, so check the other ones, check the lower difficulties, higher difficulties, because when you go to Aunt May, it has listed where you can find these champions. This is for Mangog. There are the potential places where you can encounter him, as well, obviously, for Mole Man. And for Mole Man, it does list him, once again, where is the Mole Boy? In all of the Proving Grounds difficulties. So just check in the Proving Grounds. Maybe you can find an easy Mole Man fight there. Right. Besides that, obviously, we have 5-4-6, which ultimately is very, very doable. I had already a rank 5 Crossbones. Didn't rank up any other champions for it. Basically just need Magneto, House of X, and your Crossbones in order to do 5-4-6. And go to the Spidey path. That's probably the fastest one. I ascended my Crossbones as well for this one, because why not? Tier 1 Primordial Dust I do not care too much for. But yeah, I teleported here to the Spidey path, did the Spidey, Hood, Iceman, then, Miss Marvel and Carnage, and then obviously the final boss. Crossbones or Magneto, both can do the final boss. There's nothing too hard with it. With Crossbones, obviously just spam a lot of heavy attacks, especially if you have Magneto House of X pre-fight. Crossbones doesn't place any debuff, so it's going to be quite an easy fight. Or, alternatively, he's metal, so Magneto is also going to do a decent job. So, in between Crossbones and Magneto X, you do not need to rank up any of the other 4 stars. just so you are aware. If you want, you can ascend Magneto X and Crossbones as well. I just ascended Crossbones. If you want to make it faster, obviously you can put on a boost as well. And then, what else do we have left over? We had the 436. This one is probably the hardest one. This fight genuinely was harder than Winter of War Hulkling. And that is primarily because of AI. The AI in this fight is cracked. You can go straight to the Venom boss, obviously, which is what I did. And it still took me like 8 or 9 tries, probably, maybe more. Fight itself is easy. The problem is Venom's AI. It doesn't want to throw special attacks, and sometimes and you can try and bait out a special attack, and it's just gonna it's gonna seem like the AI is laggy, glitchy. And it took me about 10 or dozen tries or so. Eventually I did get the solo with the guillotine. It's frustrating. Most people probably here will use a reviver too. Let's be real, because it can get tedious trying to get that solo. This is objectively the single quote-unquote hardest fight probably for these challenges. It genuinely was tougher, significantly tougher than EOP Hulkling for me personally. It's kind of funny. And then obviously you do have the variant objectives. Those were very straightforward as well. We had one more in Act 3 somewhere, 326 with Gamora and Nebula. For 326, the easiest path by far is the tech path. I basically just did the entire thing with Gamora. That was very, very easy as well. So the tech path is the one that's on the far side here. And you need to deal with like Star-Lord, Professor X, Yondu, Punisher 2099, and Over the Dark and Silverian. It was fairly straightforward for Gamora. Didn't take long at all. Gamora did just fantastic. And then we do have the back issues as well. We have the first two final quests, the first two back issues. If you take a look at the Ultron's Assault one, this is where you use Medusa. You really do want to get a 2-star Awakening gem for your Medusa. I'm going to show you where to get it exactly very easily if you do not have one at hand. But just go far right. There's no hard fights really. And the Ultron boss straightforward too. So far right for the Medusa challenge. And then if we need to take a look at the final quest for the Wasp challenge, then this one's a bit annoying in a sense that you will have to heal. And do not, try to not heal. But once again, is this the real quest? No. Didn't feel like it because I had the science. So, Fog Brawl preview. Oh, wait, is it changing the classes? Okay, never mind then. You might not have to heal. But either way, I just went here on the left side, did all of these symbiote fights. Now it's showing skill. I had to deal with science before, and science had like electro-like abilities. So I had to use a couple of health potions to heal up my Wasp. But basically then I just went for A-Bomb and Spidey and Daredevil, and then finally to the Yellow Jackets. Very, very easy. It's easier than the Ultron one as well. Very fast with Wasp and her guaranteed crits. It's just that if you will have the science adaptoids, then you will have to use some health potions. And then, last thing that I did want to show you guys, if you do, I got Awakening Gems for all of my 2 stars, and you get 2-star Awakening Gems easily with this Solo Crystal. That's the very basic, very lowest level of Solo Crystal, and if you open a few of these up, and they are very, very cheap, by the way. They only cost like 1,000 of those Solo Shards. I probably didn't need to buy that many, but I just wanted to show you guys that you can absolutely get the 2-star Signature Stones and 2-star Awakening Gems in this crystal. And that's pretty much it. As I said, it took me about 2 hours in total. Again, you can probably cut that time down to like 1 hour if you do not get obsessed trying to solo the Venom, and if you do not get impatient and just do the dual targets instead of quests. or Mangog and Molman. But yeah, that's about it. And I hope this is helpful for some of you. And I'm gonna catch you guys soon. Bye. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the